cucumber.
Never panicking. I mean, tell you what, they could hold him up with a gun. I mean, Rob Price tried to tried to make him lay down 2 queens at gunpoint. That didn't work. I wouldn't like to try and make him hand over a bag of money.
2 players.
Flop here. Head up between Clay and Michael. And Clay's got a straight draw.
200. 200.
Michael's got a straight. Oh my, he flopped it. And he's got a flush draw to boot. Clay is actually drawing dead to this pot. He had a small chance to tie, but wow, what a hand for Michael. Huge.
And Michael, again, there showing some experience. He checked it. And he definitely is not going to be worried that he's third in chips at the moment. In fact, he's going to be pretty comfortable that he's got a shot here of getting into the last 2 and possibly making it through to the final.
So Justin Shaughnessy firmly in charge with 47.25. John Shaw has 36.50 in second, and Clay Knight a little work to do with just 13.50 left.
Peter Schmidt shooting out the tickets under the watchful eye of Thomas Kremser. Action now on John Shaw. 100 pounds to call. More.
Raise 300.
And he likes
Raised
it.
300. Pass.
And Simon, the players will have noticed that he raised with Queen 5 some time ago. Justin might fancy those 8s.
Well, Justin, I'll be very surprised if he just calls here. He wants to find out how big a hand John's got. Don't forget, these are the 2 chip leaders, and Justin definitely doesn't want to make a mistake at this stage. He really feels that he can go all the way and win this.
Call. Thank you.
Trepidation. 650 pounds in this pot. We're going to see the flop. John's the aggressor. Justin's sitting tight on a pocket pair, and the bullets hit the board.
Yeah, the only reason that Justin didn't raise is because John is a second chip leader. That was a strategic play, and it's worked out perfectly for him. He's only going to lose the absolute minimum.
He's 5.
500.
That's a big old bet.
Pass.
Wow. Just laid it right down. Trying to look through John Shaw right there was like trying to penetrate solid steel. He had a very firm countenance.
Pass. Pass. Pass.
Deuce 7.
But it's suited, Jesse.
Raised to 300.
Wow, it's a raising hand, John, with the aggression. Did you see that look that Michael Clark just gave him? Be you sane?
Pass.
Fair play to John Shaw there. He's got the weakest hand that you can possibly start with in Hold'em, 7 deuce, but it was suited, and John obviously likes suited cards.
Qualities a good poker player has to have, I think, are a very good memory and patience. I've learned from watching poker on the television what cards to play and when to play them. So I'm used to playing any old hand.
Pass. Raised to 300.
Here comes Michael Clark. You get the feeling that Michael and Clay are building up to play a big pot. There's just that little tension between them, isn't there?
Clearly. Of course, it's Justin's big blind.
Call.
He's the chip leader.
Thank you.
He can afford to see a few flops, and with this hand, he's definitely going to want to see a flop. He's got King, Queen suited. He's got Michael completely dominated in this hand.
Sure does.
2 players.
A big flop for Justin O'Shaughnessy. The flush draw, 4 hearts he has. Michael Clark puts the brakes on. This is interesting.
Check.
Justin knows that 6 has made absolutely no difference whatsoever, because if he had a 6 he would have bet it.
400.
Now he's induced Michael into making a bet here.
Oh, is he checking to raise? This is odd, like a boiled egg.
Well, we'll see how experienced he is
Call.
now. There you go. I mean, he's thinking two things. He's thinking, should I bet the flop? And then he's thinking, well, I don't see how that 6 has improved anything.
That was a big bet and call. And that card has changed nothing. Can Michael fire the last bullet? If he does, he wins.
Check. Check.
Oh my, this kid's got guts.
600.
Oh, what a bluff.
That is phenomenal
Pass.
play. And look at how quickly Justin passed.
What fantastic stuff. He's a bridge player. There's no bluffing in bridge as far as I know.
Well, let me tell you, we are looking for the British amateur champion. And Michael Clark is fully deserving of having a shot at that title with those moves.
Guts to spare from a man in a pink shirt. Who would have thought it?
Pass.
50 pounds to
Call.
call, and that's what Michael Clark does.
Clay will be happy to see a cheap flop.
These two gladiators.
Check. Check.
Bingin' bangin'. 200 pounds in there. And they've
Two
both
players.
flopped nothing.
200. 200.
He's relentless, isn't he, Michael?
Pass.
The forced bets have been posted. 75 and 150. And Clay on the button.
Pass.
Will he
Pass.
steal? No. Blind on blind now. Orange chips, 25 pounds. The reds are 100 pounds each.
Raise. $450.
Well, he's
Raise to
tripling the bet,
450.
putting a little pressure on John Shaw. And these two have yet to tangle seriously. They may now.
Re-raise.
Wow. Justin's not going to really like this, is he? I mean, this is the one guy he doesn't want to take on.
Yeah, okay.
Raise to 800.
So 350 is call.
Yep.
Call. Okay.
This pot pretty big now, 1600. Pocket pair versus the overcards.
players.
And Justin might not like that flop, even though he's ahead. How's he going to play it?
Check.
Well, more importantly, has John got
Check.
the game to represent it? No, he hasn't.
Wow, it's gone check, check. A 10 would have made bingo for John Shaw. And will Justin be able to suss this out? Slow and close-lidded he is now. Unmoving except for the eyes.
Yeah, he keeps glancing down at his chips, but whether he's actually going to make a bet or not, I couldn't tell.
Well, this kind of pot is where you separate a player from a champion.
1,000.
Call.
That's a strong... Oh, my
Wow.
gosh!
Look how quickly John called there.
Like a shot he did. Ace, queen, or 10 will change things. That hasn't.
Well, actually, that's a good card. That's a good card for Justin's hand there, because he's got to assume that when John called so quickly after not betting the flop that he's on a draw. Now, that 5 cannot have helped him. We've seen him in this situation before when he could have bet out on the river and won the pot, and he didn't.
Be hard-pressed to figure out what John's thinking about. But if he can find the big bluff, he could take this pot to town.
Check.